geek girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.
Hi, it's Zoe from Star Wars Geek Girl, and as usual, I'm here with Lizzie,
Hi.
and we're going to talk about the new episode of The Mandalorian, Chapter 9, The Marshal.
It's been too long.
Yeah.
I needed this, and I was trying to get my roommate into it. She wasn't.
Oh,
It was really sad, but it's fine.
my dad and I woke up at 5 a.m. to watch it
Oh my gosh.
because he had to go to work,
Hey.
and
Oh.
then after everyone got home from work and school and stuff, we all watched it again.
I just I tried to get my roommate Katie to watch the first season. Because we made a deal that if I watched this Korean zombie movie that she wanted me to watch, then she would watch Mandalorian with me. And I did, and I still have nightmares from that movie. So I was like, you better watch Mandalorian. And she did, but also did not, because she was on her phone the entire time. She had no idea what was happening, kind of. So I just watched this episode by myself, all alone, and it was fine. It's okay.
I think you have a letter for that.
I think so too. I've been going over because I've just been stressed with everything, and there was all the midterms, and now finally we had a break. So I'm going over them again and which ones I can open.
Yeah, that one's a good one. Watching Star Wars for the first time. I remember that one. I won't say who wrote it, but it was a good one.
Who done it?
If you haven't read it yet, I'm not gonna say.
Should I find it now?
Sure.
It's like I have the letters on my desks. English on my desk.
Context to people listening. As part of Lizzie's graduation present, I had various friends and family all write letters to Lizzie for they're like labeled, so they're like open like for your midterms, or open like for your first night at school and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had many friends do it. Jonah Marie wrote a bunch that were really good. I read them all. I know what they all say. I'm a little nosy. I mean, I had to I read them.
Read them, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, these ones I think.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who like our podcast friends that wrote them. Jonah Marie Macias.
I think I'm
Brian Young. Amy Radcliffe. Vanessa Marshall wrote one. Hers was really good.
I think she wrote one. I think hers was the first night of the dorm.
Yes,
maybe.
Let me see. I think
I read that one.
A bunch of them in my email.
Can't sleep. Haha, me all the time. I pulled an all-nighter. I'm so sorry, Dad, that you're listening. But I stayed up till 7 a.m. Doing homework, and then I couldn't sleep, so I just painted.
Because I included some extra envelopes. Did your family end up writing any?
No.
No?
No, they didn't. It's fine. When you need a boost of confidence, I need like 20 of those for every day. Which one are we looking for again?
When you have to watch Star Wars for the first time on your own.
Wait, no. My dad did write one. This is his handwriting. Okay, I just haven't read that one. Open when you miss your dad. Whenever finish first semester. I'm not done with that yet. Where in the heck?
Okay, the way it's worded in the email, I may not have written it exactly because I don't know. I probably did, but it says for the first time you watch Star Wars while you're on your own.
Open before exams. Failing grade. Haha, me in financial accounting.
Maybe you
Uh,
shouldn't say that.
huh?
Maybe you shouldn't say that.
It's fine. No, my parents know. It's math, but it's not math. It's like accounts, like accounting, like in the name, but like confusing and rules and not math, but is math, and I hate it. Here it is. I found it. So I'm failing that, but it's fine. Actually, I don't know if I'm failing. I'm pretty sure I am if I failed 5 tests. So
Well, if you have to open that, I remember the failing grade. Remember, because I was like writing all the envelopes, and for most of them, it's like open when, And I was writing that one. I almost wrote open when, and I was like, wait, I can't write when for that one.
Well, you could have. It would have been fine. Okay, open when you watch Star Wars for the first time on your own. I want to at least see who it was from. Brian Young. Ah, yes. Should I just read it out loud? I think I should.
You want to? It's your letter.
So open when you watch Star Wars for the first time on your own. Hey, I get it. This can be an emotional moment. Star Wars has been a thing you've been doing with your family for as long as you can remember. As someone on the outside watching your Star Wars journey both on your own and with your family, I imagine you're going to head to Star Wars for comfort, to replicate that feeling of being with your family. Revel in that feeling. It might be rough that first time because you'll be focusing on their absence rather than the joy, but don't give up. For me in my life, Star Wars always got me through the worst times. Whenever I felt alone, I felt like Star Wars was there for me like a warm blanket. I could wrap myself in the feelings of it and keep going. I imagine and hope that you'll find something similar as you turn to it while you're on your own. Brian Young. Yay. Yeah, I invited like 2 friends over because I only have like 3 friends, and that's including my roommate. And I tried to get them to watch Mandalorian season 1 with me, because I just wanted to feel like there was that group with my family. And then they didn't watch it, and they were on their phones. And then one fell asleep, and I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm fine. We're only on the first episode. So that was sad times. But then I just watched Mandalorian, the new episode on my own, and that was also sad times. Yeah. Especially because I didn't have my dad, because whenever I would like gasp or like talk a little during the show, he'd be like, shh, and
Really?
like shush me. So
Your dad to me is like so fun to watch movies and stuff with. Like when I was over there that time and you were like at work and it was just like me and your dad, and Axel was doing something upstairs. I don't know what. He just like kind of disappeared. But we were just like watching like TV all day, and he had like the perfect balance of like not talking too much but then like having his little comments. And I was like, this is great,
yeah.
because like most people when you watch something with them, they're just on your phone the whole time, but he was like the
Oh, yeah.
perfect watch buddy. Would watch with stuff with again.
Yeah, we were told that phones during movies was bad. So now, like, whenever I watch a movie, I don't usually have my phone with me, unless it's a zombie movie, because I'm terrified of zombies, and I had nightmares since now, and this was the beginning of the school year.
No.
It's fine. It's not like I stay up until Katie goes to sleep so I can make sure that I can like sleep in peace and not wake up to her being a zombie. It's fine. I hate zombies so much. So that's a fun time. Uh, but yeah, I miss watching movies with them.
We should have
It's
like a
okay.
Zoom watch party.
Yeah.
I
Wouldn't
recently
be the
discovered
same,
there's an
though.
Animal Crossing movie,
Yeah, there is. I haven't watched it yet.
and I found it
Did
on
you
a
watch it?
no, I didn't watch it. I just had it saved on my Google Chrome window because it's on a very legitimate website. Which I only used because it's like you can't get it online elsewhere and it's only like $30 for the DVD. And that's just ridiculous.
Hmm. Uh, I miss all my movies that I had. Because I only have my Switch and my computer. And I don't have Netflix, but I have Hulu, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime.
You can't use your Netflix account on your computer?
We don't remember the passwords. So it's kind of just stuck over there.
That's not good.
No, it's fine. We never log out of like the main TV one anyway. So it's fine.
You don't want to
I
just
just
like
I just
use
can't have
whoever's
it.
email that's attached to it, just like reset the password so you know the password.
No. No. It's too
Okay.
much work.
Okay.
So, I have Disney Plus though, and I mostly because with like different movies that my dad buys like on Blu-rays and stuff, they have like codes of like, oh, put it on Amazon Prime and then you can have it digitally. So I just watch movies on there like that. But I miss like Netflix kind of because it had a lot of stuff that I've been wanting to watch. So that's F. That's okay. Um, what were we talking about? Movies with parents and not being able to see it with them. Uh, sad. Very sad. Okay, so the episode. um, what's it called? The Marshal? Yes. So the Mandalorian's trying to go and find other Mandalorians because apparently he thinks if he finds more Mandalorians, they're gonna know where Jedi's are. I don't know. I guess Mandalorians just always know where Jedi's are. I don't
He,
know.
he's trying his best. He
I
doesn't really know.
guess
He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know what species this kid is. He doesn't really know what a
that's
Jedi
fair.
is. He's like, but you know what? I do know what Mandalorians are, so I'm gonna start there.
Same. um, yeah, I guess.
He
But
goes
he
through the
goes to
street.
this like
It was a very
yes,
modern looking street for like it not I mean like most Star Wars streets are either like super like old-ish looking, like Tatooine's kind of like Mos Eisley, like oldish kind of town looking, or you've like Coruscant, it's like super futuristic. But like the street
yeah.
in the beginning was just kind of like I feel like I've gone down that street before, like in Philly. Just like this is a Star Wars
Oh,
of it.
yeah, I guess so. It looks like if Disney was trashed. Like I guess because I'm imagining that giant rounded what's it called building that they have all the Star Wars like statues and stuff.
I
I
don't
forget what it's called though. I don't go to Disney enough.
I don't know what you're talking about. So
It's it's okay. But it just that one building reminds me of it, but that's literally it. So there's like Gamorreans fighting, and I
well,
thought that was cool.
there was
Hmm?
graffiti and they had stormtroopers
Yeah,
crossed out in the graffiti. And it kind of looked like Sabine inspired, but it's not because she doesn't paint stormtroopers like that in the journal or in her journal or in the show. So I was like,
yeah.
it was like Sabine's influence that it spread, you know?
Or
Or
like
maybe like
people just don't like stormtroopers.
that's true too.
I know I don't like them very much.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
Uh,
The Gamorrean Fight Club.
yes, and these Gamorreans are very fit,
Yeah,
unlike the ones at Jabba's palace.
yeah.
The
Actually getting
ones
away.
that don't really
The
do
ones in Jabba's
anything.
palace got an easy job until Luke shows up.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate for them. Um, so they do that, and everyone's betting because that's a thing that a lot of people do.
And the babysitter.
Oh yes, baby follows with crib.
The
Uh,
crib is back.
yeah, it is back,
Got a new
and
crib. I think I like to imagine that Mando just went into like a Star Wars version of Babies R Us
yes,
and was just like shopping for cribs. And they're like, "Oh, do you have a little Mando child?" He's like, "Yes,
of course.
I do."
Don't don't question me or my child ever again. Um, that would be very cute. What was I saying? Yeah. So Mando child's there, and he's a cutie as usual. I don't know. He'll never not be cute until
If you
he's like,
disagree, you need to leave.
yeah, just like stop
Stop
life.
existing.
Yeah, just rethink your life. You want to go home and rethink your life. Uh, but so they did that. Oh yeah. So he's like asking this person, like, "Hey, you know where Mandos are, right?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, of course." And then like tries to take the Beskar from him, and that
Yeah.
was bad. And then
Yeah, that didn't work out very well for
and
him.
then he doesn't kill him because he promised he wouldn't. So he lets whatever fear knock looking creatures kill him.
Fear knocks.
They look like fear knocks, or
They
like,
didn't really look like
we
anything.
didn't.
We just saw the
They
eyes.
just look
but
like dots, but like they reminded me of fear knocks because like they only come out into
there's no
the
light. Yeah, well, because
yeah.
Mando hangs him from the light post and then
Hmm.
shoots the light post. So
Yes, and then they attack.
yeah, and then
Scrumptious.
the Marshal. Oh, and the guy told him there's a Mando on Tatooine.
Yeah. So we're back on Tatooine because no one could get enough of that place.
Yeah,
Um,
you meet the lady.
we see
who I love.
babysitter lady again.
Yes, she doesn't babysit this time. Her
No,
reaction to seeing Baby Yoda again.
is everyone.
That's me.
It's yes, always. If you don't react to Baby Yoda like that, like what are you doing with your life? I don't understand. Um, so she gets excited and she's cool, and then she yells at R5, and then poor
Oh, and
R5.
Mando lets the pit droids fix his ship.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
worked up the droids.
sad because IG dead, DED dead. Um, but it's okay. He was good. He was a good droid. So he does that. She says that the other Mando or the where he's trying to go is Mos Espa?
Not Mos Espa,
No,
Mos Pelgo. Mos
Mos
Espa is
Pelgo, right?
different.
Is
And
a what?
Mos Espa is different.
Might be. So he
Uh,
goes there and it's very western town looking. It's empty and sandy and there's sand everywhere and it kind of sucks. Um, what was I saying? Oh, I don't know. So he's looking for this Mando, and apparently my mom loves this person.
with the elephant?
Whatever this Cobb, like corn on the cob. That's his
Vance
name.
Cobb, yeah, but the actor's Timothy Oliphant. Does she like the character or the actor?
Actor.
Actor, okay.
She's like, ooh, his face is top tier, and I'm like, he's old.
He's in The Office and
He is?
just for a little bit. He's like a side
Okay.
character. He like dated Pam. And
Oh yeah.
he's in The Good Place as himself.
Interesting.
And
I mean, he's just old.
he
Old man.
he exists as a person. He looks like a human being.
Yeah, he does. I said, I don't know why, but like, so when I first saw, because they don't say like who he is at first, he just comes up and he has Boba Fett's armor, and you're like, oh, well, what?
But you can
I
tell like it doesn't fit him right and he's wearing
no, and I was podcasting with my family, and apparently Axel yelled, like, just was like, what is wrong with you? And he was like, where is your neck? Like, what is that? How are you placing that on? Like, it doesn't look good, man. I was like, oh my God, Axel.
Oh man.
Axel's really come after Mando's.
Yeah. I mean, he has a scarf. That's like the main thing I think that makes his helmet rest weird is he insists on wearing a scarf with it.
Yeah.
To fashion.
It's
And
fine.
his shirt kind of looks like a blouse like you'd get from Ross.
Yeah, it just looks like this is gonna sound so
The
mean.
armor
It just
fits
looks
him
like
really
someone who just got the armor and then just had a shirt on, was like, yes.
Yeah.
Stop.
It doesn't match. And he's
No.
he looks like he's taller and thinner than Boba Fett too, which doesn't help the fit.
Yeah. So, but it's fine. It was terrible because I knew it wasn't Boba Fett because I was like, doesn't I don't think so. And then he took off his helmet and I was like, oh, okay, I was right. But I thought he looked like steel for a hot second. I don't know why. I think it's the hair.
I don't see it. I'm sure Steele will be flattered to know he looks like Timothy Oliphant though.
My mom very much disagrees with me though. So
Well, we'll have to let Steele know.
Yeah, I'll let him know someday. But I just think it was the hair that threw me off for a second.
Steele's hair doesn't really look like that though.
It's like the same color.
That's a very low bar.
I know. I know. It's fine.
But yes,
and then
but
he's
Mando
like,
thinks he's a real Mando. He's like, whoa, friend alert.
and then
He
and
sits
then
down
he
and
was
takes the
not
helmet off,
friend.
and Mando's just like, wait.
Not friend. Yeah. It and that guy was ready to fight already, and I was like, y'all just sat down.
I know he sits down and like takes a little tiny drink, and then he's like, all right, let's go, and stands back up.
Yeah, and then Mando was like, the kid's seen worse. Yeah, let's do it.
And
But
Baby Yoda was playing with the spittoon.
yes, he was.
Gross.
Very gross, but
The Mando is not. He's not instilling good hygiene habits in his child.
no, he's not. He's letting the kid eat things that were on the floor. That's bad. Very, very bad. Not good. Not healthy. So they're gonna fight, and then there's a dragon, a whole dragon, just eating. Gosh,
Poor Bantha.
Bantha. I don't know why I kept wanting to say Banshee. I was like, that's definitely not what I want to say. But yeah, he ate a whole Bantha. And
in one gulp. He didn't even have to chew.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He just launched. And that was kind of terrifying because I thought they were a lot smaller.
I know. Yeah. Well, because actually we recently there's a movie theater sort of close-ish to us that did a thing where you could like rent out a movie theater for you and like friends because social distance and stuff.
Yeah.
And like you got the whole theater and you could play any movie you wanted. So we watched A New Hope on a big screen, which I'd never done before. Cried a lot, but
of course.
Yeah, but it was great because. But where's it? Oh, but because I had just recently seen like the crate dragon skeleton on Tatooine in the background, and it doesn't look that big.
No, it really does not.
And then in this episode, you're like, oh my god, it's enormous.
It's like a megalodon shark-ish. Like because like Obi-Wan fights one in the comics, and that's not that big.
Yeah, maybe that was a baby one.
That's what my dad said too, that it was baby, and that makes me sad.
I know, Obi-Wan just killed children. He's no better than Anakin.
Mm-mm. Bad. No killing children. Even if they're real annoying. You can't kill them. It's illegal. But yeah, that was terrifying and like makes me even question solid ground when I was already questioning the ocean. But it's fine.
They're not real, so it's okay.
It is real.
Oh, all right. I didn't know that.
It's very real. And I am very terrified. So
yes, the dragon
Cobb.
goes through and eats the whole thing, and Cobb Vanth is like, "I'll make you a deal, Mando. I'll give you my armor if you help me kill this crate dragon." Mando's like, "All right."
Of course. I'm only gonna remember his name because Corn on the Cob, and that's kind of.
It's hard for me to remember his name because I'm like, Timothy Oliphant.
Oh, well, his name is Corn on the Cob now. Wait, but Mando is Dijon Mustard, and there's Corn on the Cob. Who's next?
Wait, hold on. Brain. He was in the office, and his name is Cobb Vanth. So he's Corn on the Cob Vanth Refrigeration.
Yes. Amazing.
I did it. I solved Star Wars.
You solved the Star War. You're gonna get a medal and everything, and it's gonna be fun times. And then I'm gonna be like, I knew that person.
I solved Star Wars by making a joke about The Office.
You solved the Star War. You solved it, and I'm so proud of you. Yeah. I knew you could do it.
Well, what happened? So they go on their little speeder bikes, and they go off to find the crate dragon, and he just puts the baby in a bag and sits it on the side of the speeder. He doesn't have a sidecar. There's no straps. It's so dangerous. He doesn't even have like a proper car seat, and he's taking him on essentially a motorcycle.
It's fine. He was fine. He was fine.
To get some parenting books for Life Day. That's all I'm saying.
But also, he just wants to get rid of the child anyway. So, like, it's fine. He'll do fine. The child shall live. And if he doesn't, then we will throw a riot.
I'm fine with that.
Yes.
Anyway, while they're riding on the speeder bikes, Cobb Vanth Refrigeration is talking to the Mando and tells his little backstory. I don't know how we can hear them. They're on the speeder bikes. They're going very fast. I don't know how they can hear each other.
It's
maybe Mando couldn't really hear it. Like
he's saying something.
He just like hears him talking and he's just nodding like, okay. Like,
nice. Oh, you did that? Wow. Yeah. Uh-huh. Amazing.
So essentially Cobb Vanth, so the Mos Pelgo was attacked by
miners
or something. The mining guild or something.
Yeah.
And the mining guild, they're not that smart. I feel like because they wanted to make it a slave camp, so they just went in and shoot all the we're just shooting, but killing your potential slaves. And I'm not saying slavery is good, obviously. Oh God, okay. So
I understand what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying you should make people slaves. I'm just saying from their point of view, it's just not very smart to kill your potential labor. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're doing the right thing either way.
Well, it's what people back then used to do too. So no one's that smart when whoever's trying to enslave people is not very smart.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, not big brain of them.
Because he was saying slave camp over his little voiceover was over the flashback of them shooting. I'm like, wait, well, how are they making it a camp if they're killing everyone in it? That just doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. I guess not that smart. Anyway, he gets away with the Camtono of silica crystals.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are.
Some kind of crystal
right now.
Okay.
I'm curious. What are they used for? All right. Well, apparently they're real things, but I don't care about the real thing. I want to know what they're used for in Star Wars. Okay. Well, apparently they are used in some game to create smooth glass blocks.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try Wikipedia instead. All right, it doesn't say. All right, whatever. Silica crystals. They're purple and glowy. And so he takes them and passes out in the desert, and then, or almost passes out, and then the Jawas find him, and they're very happy about the crystals.
Yes.
They offer him their finest droids and droid heads, and he's like, "No, I want the armor that you have up there on the wall."
See. And then they were like, yeah, take it.
You know, Jawas, it's not gonna fit them. They don't care about it. They're like, "Sure."
Just flying around as a
Oh, his name's not
Mandalorian.
Cobb Vanth. It's Cobb Vanth. That ruined my whole joke.
I'm so
I'm sad
sorry.
now.
I'm so sorry. Um,
All right.
what's next? So he tells his story, and we're like, cool. He returns with armor, and he kills everyone. Not the town people, though.
And the
And
mining people run away.
and then Mando is hugging dogs.
I think you skipped some important parts there.
Did I?
Oh, did you a little bit? They find the dogs and you're like, oh no, they're gonna get attacked by dogs. And then he does his like sand people sounds and the dogs are like friend.
Friend.
It's a very important part.
Yes.
Oh, also I just wanted to mention, because we have a screen cap of it and we didn't have one earlier, but I think it's really cool how his Cobb Vanth's Vanthus, I don't know how to speak. But his speeder is made out of like old pod racer parts.
Oh yeah.
I think that's neat.
It looks like just a pod racer, and it's real cool. I enjoy. 10 out of 10. Would look at it again.
Okay, so the
So he's
dog
friends with dog.
and the dog wiggles its butt like Buddy does when he gets excited when I come
Yes.
home. So
I need a dog. I want to get a dog and just have him here.
you're
But it
welcome
will
down
never
here whenever
happen.
you want to pet the dogs.
Thank you.
Once they're done barking at you and things.
Yeah, it's true. And then what happens?
They go to the
They
Tusken
talk
camp.
to the Tusken Raiders. Yeah, they talk to them and they're like, "Yeah, we also want to kill this giant thing. But also you took their water. But also they stole from you. So like we have a problem."
Yeah, and
Uh,
they give Cobb a very gross looking drink thing.
yes.
Was it like a weird fruit or something? I don't know what it
I
was.
think so, but I think they said like I don't know if maybe that was like water that wasn't like filtered or something because they gave him the drink and then they said when he declined the offer they said like, oh, you take the water but you won't like drink this, like I don't know, it was weird. I don't know what it was
To
though,
be
but
fair
later
to Cobb, I don't think I would have drank it either because it did not look very good.
I it didn't look good, but I probably would out of respect or try. Probably vomit, but it's okay.
I feel like vomiting would be more disrespectful.
Yeah, but I'm good at hiding it.
All
uh,
right,
so
so the next morning.
wait, but oh yeah, I guess later. Because later you see Cobb like drinking it later.
Yeah, well, that's way later.
Way later.
But they all ride banthas out to look at the Crate Dragon cave, and they see a
Yeah.
Tusken setting on a poor bantha, and then the Crate Dragon does not go for the bantha.
Which is real dumb on the dragon's part.
Bantha's a lot bigger. It's going to
Yeah.
provide more sustenance.
Unless like they saw only the Tusken because he was running or something, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't think that's it, because like the bantha the first time wasn't moving,
That's
so,
true. Yeah.
and he saw that. Who knows?
Hmm.
But
Very jerk of the
the
dragon to do it.
Tuscans. I laughed a little bit when that Tuscan got eaten, just because it cuts back to the Tuscans watching, and just the way Tuscan masks like look, their faces just kind of look perpetually shocked. Yeah, it's just kind of funny,
Yeah.
but like, you know, I mean, poor Tuscan,
Yeah.
but
They were like, oh crap, our friend just got eaten when we wanted the other thing to get eaten instead. That's an F moment. Um, but yeah, that was. And then they're trying to like, they had like the bones and stuff and the rocks, and Cobb is like, "Is that to scale?" And they're like, "Yeah, it is." And the thing is just ginormous, um, which is kind of just terrifying. Uh,
yeah, and but they don't have enough rocks, and Mando says something in his Tuscan language, which, by the way, Pedro Pascal said that he did all the Tuscan sounds himself, which is
what?
just amazing. Good job, Pedro Pascal, because I can't do that.
Well, yeah, it seems difficult and a lot of work. Um,
And they were
but
like really good Tuscan sounds too.
yeah, they
Like
really were.
like sometimes when people do them and they just like it just sounds like someone like dying, but they like actually sounded like the Tuscan. So like good job.
Yeah, good job. Good job on being actor.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, so then the Mandalorian just volunteers the village without like asking them at first, which isn't really
yeah,
cool, but you know,
it's really not, but it's fine. What are they gonna say? No? Haha.
I mean, they could have said no.
Nah, they gotta. They gotta do it. Otherwise, they're gonna get got.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
what
yeah,
is
so
it?
they go back to the village to tell everyone that they're gonna
Get,
have to work with the Tuscans, and the people aren't happy because the Tuscans have raided their village.
but they also took their water.
Yeah,
So it's like not great on either side.
yeah,
But like they make like a peace treaty and they're like, well, if you like try to hurt us, we will probably hurt you back, but only if you guys hurt us. So
so they make their deal, and then they're loading up the banthas with like explosives and stuff to go
yeah,
on their journey.
yes, and the poor Banthas.
Yes, and the poor Tuscan that drops the explosive and gets yelled at.
I know. Oh, it's a poor baby. But then they fight, and then Cobb's like, "Yo, stop, bad."
It was an
Um,
accident.
yeah, it was an accident, and this person was like yelling, and we were like, "What the heck, man? Shut up! It was an accident."
I just don't know what yelling at a Tuscan Raider is gonna get you. Like, how do you
Well,
think
they
that was
think
gonna go down,
I
really?
I know, right? Like that's not big brain.
Like,
Uh,
that's basically the equivalent of like yelling at a Wookiee, you know? Like,
yeah, not smart. Just not very smooth brain time.
yeah.
Um,
But they go down back to the crate dragon lair, and the dragon is sleeping.
the poor dragon, but also, dang, it eats everything. It literally can eat an entire village, and no one would know that village was there. It's terrifying. Um,
It's
but
like the Death Star of Tatooine villages.
yeah. But they're trying to make this guy eat, or no, not eat. Yeah, well, they're trying to lure it out so that way they can hit it on its stomach
Yeah,
because
well,
that's the weakest
they
point.
like buried a bunch of explosives, so they're gonna get it to like slither over those, and then boom.
And then boom. But then that doesn't really work out.
No, yeah, they have their whole fight, and they lure him out, and he finally gets over the explosives. And Mando and Cobb, who are like the most armored and like probably among the best fighters there, at least Mando is, just like stand to the side the whole time while like the villagers and Tuskens get thrown around by this thing. And I'm like, wait, like at least Cobb's a little understandable because he has the detonator thing and that's very important. But like Mando, what are you doing, sir?
I have to stay over here. It's fine. I have a child to take care of.
Well, I bet those villagers have children too, and the Tuskens, but
Okay, but are they Baby Yoda?
no, that's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Um
It's fine.
Anyway, so they finally like blow it up and it doesn't work.
Yes. No,
And
it doesn't. And then that thing like vomits on them.
starts vomiting all over them. I
I
wonder
think
if that
it
was
was
like because I feel like it could be like a attack move, but
I
like
think
what if
so.
the explosive just like gave him like indigestion
Sticky.
from all
Yeah.
the banthas and
Made
he
him
was
all
just like, oh, I
sicker.
don't feel so good. Bleh.
What? So yeah, just give me a moment.
And
What?
it was like his stomach acid or something, I assume, because you didn't really
Yeah.
see what happened, but we didn't see the people again when they got vomited on. So
Yeah, I think it was like acid, but I wonder if it was um like what was it? I don't know if it was like vomit because later we see that like he gets like the dragon comes out fully and then it just starts spewing it.
that's true.
Like it could just be just spewing like acid,
Yeah.
but like
But anyway, we don't
gross.
see what happens to the people who get vomited on, but I'm guessing they'd just go home and take a bath.
I'm guessing they
Um,
burned, but okay.
well, I mean, they didn't leave like anything left. It looks more like they disintegrated.
Yeah. Fun times. I love when you just get disintegrated.
Yeah,
Um
'cause some metal guy that showed up just volunteered your entire village to fight a dragon.
yeah. Hate when that happens.
Yeah, so anyway, the Great Dragon goes and he's coming out at the top of the mountain now. So
Yeah.
Mando and Cobb are like, you know what? We should probably help now.
And then they fly off and it's like cool Mando guys just like flying
Yeah,
and
and they shoot at it and it does nothing.
it does literally nothing. And then I guess Mando had the greatest idea in like sacrificing himself to get into the tummy of the dragon and just explode it from in there,
Yes.
which is really cool.
Yeah, there's a bantha that still has a bunch of explosives tied to it.
Yeah.
So Mando gets the Great Dragon to swallow the bantha, but the bantha tries to run away, so Mando has to hold onto the rope and get swallowed too.
Which like very valid of that poor bantha.
No, poor we just discussed the injustices that happened with the banthas here today.
It's so sad. Like they were used and like oh my goodness.
Or
Sad
I'm gonna
times.
bantha rights activist.
Yes.
Like now. Although I did feel
Only
really bad
sacrifice humans to the
I felt
dragon.
bad for the Tuskens though, because like Tuskens are supposed to have like really strong connections to their banthas, and here they are being
Just
forced to
like
like
throwing each one in there. They're like, yeah, that's fine.
But anyway, so Mando gets swallowed, and everyone's like, "Oh no!" And then he flies out and blows up the Great Dragon from the inside.
Nasty.
Oh,
Nasty but cool, to be fair.
yeah, and he's covered in green slimy.
Slimy.
But now his armor's all shiny, so trade off. It's like a car,
No.
but for Mando armor.
Nasty.
He probably stunk so bad.
Ugh.
But so yeah, so then the Tuskens are like getting all the meat from the Great Dragon.
And there's a pearl in there.
Yes. And Mando takes a chunk of meat too, which Baby Yoda's very excited about.
He did, and I was like, what are you gonna do with that?
Does he have like a fridge or a freezer
Does he have a kitchen?
for that thing?
Is he gonna cook
Like,
it?
what if it goes bad and then the baby eats spoiled food?
Not
Maybe
good
he can eat spoiled
parenting.
food, but what if the baby eats spoiled food?
But also that meat was on the floor and stuff. Like,
And like, is Mando gonna clean it? Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Mando,
So Cobb gives the armor back, and the Tuskens find the
yeah,
because Jawas have the egg, and
and
Tuskens have
Tuscans
the
have
pearl.
the pearl. I
I don't know
I
what they're gonna
was
do with the pearl because it doesn't look like you can eat it like the Jawas did with the egg.
I mean, you can maybe like sell it? Question mark.
To who?
Other
Tuskens.
Tuscans? Question mark.
But what are they gonna do with it? Why would they buy it?
I wonder if you can make like jewelry and stuff from it. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they have their big, beautiful pearl to do whatever they want with now.
Yes. Giant pearl. Um, I do you think no, I don't think do you think that's why they killed it or like just because it was like eating everyone?
Well, I mean, I'm sure the pearl was a nice bonus, but I think they were primarily occupied with the fact that they were having to sacrifice themselves and their banthas to this giant thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the pearl was cool, but I think they mostly just wanted to not be eaten anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. um hmm. That's sad times.
Yeah.
Very sad
Anyway,
times.
so Mando did not find another Mando, so he and Baby Yoda leave with their chunk of meat.
Oh,
And
I was I was
the
scared that he
fact
was
that
gonna
they,
give the armor to Cobb. Like he was
I
gonna
know,
give
I was like,
it.
dude, like, I was like, it would be so cool if he gave the armor back, but
No,
Mando's
it
like, no,
wasn't.
it's fine. This was the deal. This is the way.
This is the way.
Yeah.
You make a deal and you stick with it. And it's also not his.
Yeah. Um,
Uh
oh, and I
I
like Cobb's line. He's like, "You tell your people I wasn't the one that broke that."
yeah.
I thought that
That
was
was nice. Yeah.
yeah. So Mando got to teach everyone the importance of teamwork.
Yay. Teamwork. Um but okay, so I didn't know who the guy was at the end of the
Me neither. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay.
I
My
didn't. I
parents
just
were
because I was like, "Oh, it's a dude," and then he turned around and it was like, and granted, it was like 5 a.m. and I was very
no,
tired.
same. I was like, who is that? And
But
I
I
was like,
saw a
who's this
guy and I was
random
like,
person?
and he looked vaguely familiar, but he was like bald. So I was like,
Yeah.
who's this? And then I was like, who is that? My dad looked at me, he's like, it's Boba Fett. I was like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Obviously.
duh. Yeah.
I was
Thank you.
kidding. I would have said
I
you knew
didn't
who he was.
I just I didn't know and now that I look at the actual photo because like I only see it in the eyes, but I see it, but
Yeah, no,
he's
I see it
bald. How was
now.
I supposed to know?
Yeah. It's Tamara Morrison playing who we can only assume is Boba Fett. I don't he could
I
hypothetically
definitely
be
don't think
playing a
it's Jango
clone, but
Fett.
I don't know. I don't know who else, what clone would
Well,
be here. So
yeah, that seems like a long time for a clone. They would
yeah,
be very, very old.
yeah,
And Boba Fett was the only one that aged normally.
yeah. But so yeah, so Boba Fett. I see it now, like looking at it again. But at first,
Yeah,
it just didn't occur to me that it was Tamara Morrison because he just in the lighting he looks. I mean, I hadn't seen him bald. First of all, he's bald.
yeah, same.
That threw me off a lot. But then
I haven't seen
also
this
just
man in so long.
the lighting is putting his face in a lot of shadow, and he also looks in the lighting. He looks a little paler and more washed out than he does in Attack of the Clones. So it just didn't occur to me. I was like, who is this man? But it's Boba.
Yeah, I was with my roommate and I was like, oh, random person, cool. And she was like, what are you talking about? Because I was just talking to myself while I was watching this. And I was like, random person, cool. Chill. So, anyways.
I know, yeah. Well, I mean, essentially, like, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was a random person that Mandalorian was just gonna like bring back later
Yeah.
randomly. Like that's something they would do. I feel like as a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Boba Fett, he's got a rifle and a gaffy stick and a
Yeah, I think he
cloak.
was just posing as a Tuscan.
I see. I like to think he's like You know how like to like Lars and like the people of Tatooine, Obi-Wan's like a crazy old hermit.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that's who Boba Fett is to the Tuscans. You know, like the
Uh,
Tuscans are like, oh, it's that crazy old guy who we gave a gaffy stick a while ago. I mean, I know it's more likely he killed a Tuscan for it because he's Boba Fett, but I like to think that they're just like weirdly distant friends, and they're like, oh yeah, that guy, he lives in the cave. You know, he's just.
yeah, maybe. That'd be interesting.
Although I wonder if he's gonna want his armor back, because me and my dad were talking about this. Because I was thinking, I was like, because obviously he kind of knows what's going on and where stuff is, because he knew to watch Mando go by on his speeder bike, and I just kind of feel like if Boba Fett wanted his armor back from Timothy Oliphant, he'd have it back.
Yeah,
You know,
it's not. Cobb isn't that much of a
I mean, no offense to
like.
Cobb, you did great against the Krayt Dragon. You didn't do that much, but you did great. But like, I don't
But
think
like, you
I think
didn't do
Boba Fett's
great.
got you, man.
Yeah. Um, I was talking about it with my family too, and my mom doesn't think that he was trying to get his armor back. Uh, like, I was thinking it would be funny if he was. He was like, "Oh yes, I found the person who has my armor." Oh, and then there they go. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. So I'm confused.
I just wonder if like is how much of a role he's gonna play in the season, if he plays a role at all. Because I could hypothetically I could see a scenario where this is just this last scene is kind of them throwing a crumb our way and be like, hey, Boba Fett's still alive, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Give us more money for the book we're gonna release next year. Um,
Yeah.
but I also don't feel like um they'd include him like that and not do anything with it. But I wonder if, we don't know how many seasons the Mandalorian's going to run, but I wonder if, because last season we had the boots in that one episode.
I think that was Cobb.
Was it? I don't
I
think
don't know. I mean,
it's
his
boots.
things is very like, what's it called?
Yeah, but why would Cobb be walking over to a random woman's body when he's like defending his town and crap?
True.
You
I
know?
guess I figured like if she was close by to the town, but I don't know how close or where the heck it was
Yeah, but I
anyway.
feel like
So
if they've been close enough that Cobb would have just come across her body, that Mando would have seen the town and been like, "Oh, I know that area," you know. So I feel like that was Boba
true.
Fett because I don't think Cobb Vanth had Boba Fett's boots. I think he had his
No.
like knee armor, but I don't think he had the boots, and those were very similar to Boba Fett's boots in season one.
Yeah.
Um,
True.
yeah, I know. I think it was Boba Fett. So I wonder if like each season we're gonna get like a little tiny tease of Boba Fett until like
Just following.
maybe like
It's like I
season
want that
5.
child.
No, maybe like season 5 or whatever, Boba Fett will finally become a major player, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I could see it going
Hopefully.
either way.
Hmm. I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do with Boba Fett. Because I really do like Boba Fett, uh, especially like in Clone Wars and stuff.
Yes.
Um, but
And it's very cool they got Tamara Morrison to play him.
yeah, that too. Because then I would have just been real confused, even more than I
Yeah.
already am.
Like, I don't know what you're getting. Um,
But and to be fair,
it
my
is a
parents
little,
wouldn't know either.
yeah, it is a little sad. Daniel Logan looks like he might not get to live his dream of playing Fett as like an adult, but I think I think he would have been too young to play Fett and Mando right now.
Yeah, I think so
Maybe
too. But
someday. Maybe in the solo sequel we're definitely gonna get that ties up Kira's story and has more Donald Glover Lando.
I hope we don't get more Kira. It's
I want to
fine.
know what happened to her. I just want to.
They'll probably make a book.
I just, I just want something. I just want to know,
Eh,
where is she? What did
meh,
Maul do with her?
meh. She
My
was,
curiosity.
she's aight, as the kids say.
Kira. But mostly I just want to know. I'm just so curious. I just want to know what happened. Is she dead? Like, she's probably dead, but like, how?
I mean, I'm guessing Maul knows. You
Well, but
know?
he's dead.
Huh?
But he's dead. So
Well,
where?
now he's dead. Yeah.
You know what became of Crimson Dawn? That's like a whole crime syndicate, and like, so like, is she in charge since Maul ran off and started being crazy again? Like, so many questions.
Hmm. We will never know.
Anyway,
Sad times.
so yeah,
Um,
with that,
Boba Fett, yeah, he's a cool guy. Um, I'm excited to see what they do with him, and how the heck he's supposed to play in this story.
yeah. Yeah, I don't see, I don't know how much I see Boba Fett. He doesn't. I mean, if he's been in Tatooine this long, just kind of doing his own thing, clearly, I don't see him suddenly jumping in to be like, oh, I want to help the Mando and do Baby Yoda stuff.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what personality they give him because he has a lot of personality in the Clone Wars, but he's a young kid, so obviously he's not the same person.
obviously.
And then
But
we
yeah,
don't we don't see too much like deep into his character, I feel like, in the original trilogy because he doesn't really do anything.
doesn't talk or anything.
Yeah. So like I wonder how they're gonna I feel like they have a lot of potential in like how to write him and what where his character is gonna go.
Hmm.
Because we have like a history for him, but for this age of him, we don't really have much of a personality because I mean I'm only,
He doesn't look happy.
no, he's not
He
happy. But
doesn't have happy wrinkles, you
he's also
know?
got like the sun like was right in his face there, so like
But like, he still
it was
doesn't
beating
look
down on him, it's
happy.
hot.
Mm, he still just doesn't look happy to be there.
So we'll see. But also I feel like even if Boba Fett doesn't want to become like bounty hunter dude again, I feel like he would still want the armor back, or at least his helmet, because that was his father's,
Yeah, that's true.
you know?
Yeah, I think you're right, maybe. Especially
So
because Mando had, like, kept it, so yeah, maybe.
like because like I don't think, just based on my own assumptions, I don't know if Boba Fett, if he wants to get into that life again, but I feel like, at least in the Clone Wars, and granted he was a kid and the wound was very fresh, but he was, especially in the early parts where he was in it, he was like obsessed with his father and like
Hmm.
avenging his father and like everything. So I just wonder how that's changed for him since
Yeah.
that time. So I would assume it has because he's a grown man now. And if it hasn't, get him into therapy.
Therapy, yeah. I think a good amount of Star Wars characters need therapy.
I think all of them, every single one,
Yeah.
um, even the droids, really, all of them.
Yeah. It's fine. They're fine. They'll just go to therapy for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, that was it. There's more Cobb Vanth in the Aftermath series.
Yes,
Um,
there is. I
which
heard.
I don't remember those interlude. I mean, I remember like the interlude where they find.
Oh, give me a second. Sorry. Hello?
Hello, you good?
Hi, sorry. Roommate came back.
Oh, no problem. What was this? Oh yeah, the Aftermath interludes. I remember like vaguely remember like them talking about like they found like, and they're like vague about it. They're like this like green armor in the sand, and I'm like, huh,
Oh.
what that is. But I don't remember too many of the specific details of those
Mhm.
interludes.
I didn't read it, so.
Yeah, I've read them like a while ago, so hard for me to remember the specific details of like every single individual interlude.
Oh, I definitely think my dad does. So.
Oh, I don't think. I feel like your dad, like you know how Quinlan Voss has like his psychometry.
Yes.
I feel like your dad like just kind of like does that with the books. Like he just sits on the table and puts his
Yes.
hand on it, and this is like, okay, I
You
know
found
this.
him out.
He's like, I know, I've read this now. I know everything, and like that's like
You really figured out
he
Star
absorbs
Wars and my dad.
he absorbs like all the information and like becomes just like this walking Wikipedia of a person. It's very impressive.
Yes. You really just figured everyone out.
That's why he does Quinlan Voss, not because of the dreadlocks, because he's actually has psychometry,
Yes.
has the power.
He's actually just Quinlan Voss, and Star Wars is actually real.
Oh, wow. Is that how Quinlan Voss survived Order 66?
Yeah, he just
Down to
jumped
Earth
into Earth. Yeah.
and
It's
got
kind
married.
of poor choice of planet, but it's fine.
Yeah, he could have picked any planet, but
Came to Earth.
yeah.
And then he had fam. And I was like, yeah, this is good.
Maybe it wasn't that bad then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
But
yeah, aftermath. I remember some of the aftermath interludes. I remember the Jar Jar one.
oh, I heard about that one.
Yeah, he just like entertains children in Naboo. And everyone was like, oh wow, Jar Jar got like a horrible fate and he's suffering, and like they're like so excited that Jar Jar's suffering. I'm like, he's just entertaining children. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's just having a good time.
Chill, y'all.
He's having a much better time than a lot of Star Wars characters are, okay?
Yeah.
Leave her alone. I also remember the Vader cult. I remember that one because I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to be in the Vader cult.
No, bad child. Don't go into Vader
The Vader
cults.
cult was essentially what we do. They just dressed up as Vader and hit people with red sticks. I don't see how that's much different than our entire lives.
You really just found out like 501st, my dad, and Star Wars. Like, chill.
I'm figuring it all out. I'm the detective.
Yes.
I don't remember all the other. Those are the ones I remember the most. I'm sure there are more. But I mean, I know there's more. There's like a ton of interludes in those books, but yeah. Boba Fett. So that was one of the many leaked quotation marks with finger quotes casting, so it's interesting. I don't think, I know a lot of people are like, oh well, this means all the other ones are true. I don't think that's true. Like Gina Carano said in an interview, she was like, yeah, some are true, some aren't, so I'm not gonna suddenly hop on the train of like everyone. I just feel like, to me at least, it's very unlikely that Mandalorian season 1 would have no previously established character in the entire thing, because apparently Boba Fett, I guess, was in one shot, like discreetly, and then suddenly have like every character that ever existed is gonna be in season 2. I just find that unlikely. Just
it is just
and like there's 8 episodes, and granted, some of the episodes, like this one was like an hour long or something, which was fine. I didn't even notice. I thought it was short, and I was like, oh wait, that was an hour.
This one was an hour long?
Yeah, close to an hour.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. If you look on the screenshots your dad took,
oh my gosh,
there's one with the screen cap, and if you add the numbers, it's like almost an hour.
Jeez.
Great times. But like there's 8 episodes, so they don't have time to put every character that Dave Filoni ever created into this show, plus like half of George Lucas's characters. It's just not. It just doesn't.
People just
don't believe everything you read on the internet, and check your sources all the time. Just check them. That's my lesson. Mando taught them that about teamwork. I'm teaching you. Don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Yeah.
But also, we're on the internet, so should you believe us?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Don't believe us.
Yeah.
It's a trick. We're actually not real.
No, I'm a hologram.
I'm just a ghost. So I was real, but now I am not. So still don't trust me. It's okay. So that
This went off the rails a little bit.
it did a little, but it's okay.
Not as much as usual.
That's true. I think we're good. I think we're cool. I think we would be considered cool from the Cool Kids Club. What do you think?
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say about the episode. Very good. Very Star Wars.
Very Star Wars.
I love
Much wow.
one of the many, many, many moments, all the moments of Mandalorian that I liked was when he talks to the Tuskens with sign language in season 1.
Oh yeah.
And so they obviously very much expanded on that in this episode, which was cool because that was like, season 1. I'm like, oh, it's such a cool little thing to like humanize the Tuskens a little more. And then this episode, they're like, take all the Tuskens.
Here's all of them, and
all the Tusken.
But also we're gonna give all the Tuskens to the dragon.
Yes.
Which was very unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. So yeah, very good episode. Back to Tatooine. Will we return there later to hang out with Boba Fett? Maybe.
Perhaps.
Or will Boba Fett come hang out with Mando himself? Does he have a show? What happened to Slave One?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, because I would just assume that Boba Fett flew it to Tatooine. So is it just like parked in a hangar somewhere? Like can he just go get it? I bet it has a ton of tickets on it.
He's like, I'll be right back. Give me a second.
I think we should get a scene. I think every episode should end with Boba Fett trying to come find his armor. And like next episode, he comes back to the Slave One parked in like Mos Eisley or whatever, and there's just like tickets all over, like a bunch of tickets just taped to the windshield. Yes. And he just sighs and starts pulling them all off one by one.
That'd be very sad.
That's gonna happen next episode. I predicted it.
I think you predicted a lot of things today, so I think at least one of them will be true.
Did I predict things or did I solve them?
Both. You did both. So, all right. I think I have to go.
Yes, it is almost 9:30. So, we'll do quick plugs and stuff. StarWarsGeeko.com. I'm still doing a series called Mise en Ren about the mise en scène of Star Wars Rebels. I think I did one. Yeah, I did one this week. I remember it.
Good.
So if you want to read about that kind of stuff, that's on the Star Wars Geeko website. I think there's like 4 articles in that series so far. I gotta check right now and see how many I wrote. But I think it's 4. I have a bunch more planned. I'm gonna do 1 a week, probably for a while. Hopefully. I wrote them in my planner. So usually when I write something in my planner, it means I'm gonna do it.
That's the opposite for me.
Oh. Yeah, I've done 4 so far. So if you want to go read those, none of them are crazy long, I think. But those are in existence. And what else? SW Girl on Twitter. Not very active on Twitter because Twitter's kind of scary. But we're on there. And it's also SW Girl on Instagram and Star Wars Geek Girl on Facebook. So you can go to all those places and look at our stuff.
Yay.
And Lizzy is also on the Rogue Rebels podcast.
Yes. Sorry. I'm like distracted. I'm also on the Rogue Rebels podcast. I think you can find that anywhere. There's the roguerebels.com. That's our website. And the Rogue Rebels on Instagram.
So go follow and look at all those things. I just knocked over a piece of tape. And I think that's it. So thank you for listening. May the force be with you. I was Zoe, and goodbye.
I was Lizzy. Ha! Bye.
Star Wars geek girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.